Hello. Today I'm going to be talking about a topic on spiritual growth. Hope you're doing well. And I'm going to share something that we need to develop, as Christians growing in our faith, growing in our spiritual walk. And I just want to share that one of the things that's going to be very important is when we get into this pattern of getting good teaching, we need to do something with that teaching. So good teaching becomes then uh, discipline, where you actually have to discipline yourself. If you're eating too much junk food, even though you get good teaching and you want to exercise, but the junk food is not allowing you to exercise, we need to discipline ourselves to cut some things out of our lives so that we can start and begin using some of that good teaching and putting it into practice. So it begins with good teaching. Then we need discipline to somehow get it into our lives so that it becomes practical. And that's when discipline becomes training. And training, usually you have someone over you that can oversee your progress so that when you put some teaching into practice, where you're actually disciplined enough to actually do it, let's say, 3 times a week, you go out and run a mile, and you do that consistently, and you have someone timing you, you have a friend checking up on you, or someone that is a coach, that a running coach that is able to see if you're making progress, if you're getting your time down, all of that, and checking up on what you're eating, and if you're getting enough rest. All of that would be training. So you're not only getting good teaching, but you're also getting some discipline. You're disciplining yourself, and you're getting some training where you're actually improving yourself. And then the last part is flow. Once you get into all of that, what I just said, good teaching, discipline, training, once that becomes a part of you, because you do it so often, you begin to flow in your running skills. It doesn't even have to be running, it could be anything. But whatever skill sets you want to develop, you need to go through this process of getting teaching, the right teaching, uh, getting disciplined, uh, getting training, and then you will begin to see the flow and the skill set uh, accomplished to a certain level of proficiency. And I think that's all of what we want, you know, in any, you know, avenue or any skill set you want to develop. So with spiritual growth, I'm just gonna lay out some very fundamental laws. Like the first one is the law of progressive overload. I'm just gonna break it down so that you understand what progressive overload, meaning that you actually take on and tackle something that's a little bit more difficult, a little bit beyond your ability. When you're developing your muscles, and you go to the gym, start lifting weights, you always put your weights, a little bit above, what maybe you would feel comfortable with. If you're lifting weights and you're just going 1, 2, 3, and you're able to do it 100 times with no stopping, because it's so easy, it's so light, that's not going to help you grow your muscles. And the same thing spiritually. We need to have faith and to put things into practice where it is something that's just a little bit beyond us, that we actually need to depend on God. So with weights, if you're starting out with, let's say, uh, I don't know, 50 kilos, you're lifting it, and it's just a little bit hard, at the 10th rep. After you do it like the ninth time, the 10th time becomes a little bit more difficult. That's what you want. And then maybe in the near future, instead of 50 grams, you put 55 grams and you go for that would show a sign of spiritual growth or physical growth. Your muscles actually can handle more weights. So it's the same thing spiritually. The physical and the spiritual, they are connected. And what works physically can also work for you spiritually. So if you don't have faith, let's say to raise, I don't know if you're into fundraising to raise, let's say, $1 million in an organization, then maybe you start with something that you do have faith for, like 100,000 or something like that, because you've done it before. So, or even taking an exam in math, let's say for this particular topic, you feel that you can score an 80%. And to raise that level, you can study and aim for something like 90. And that would require more faith, more diligence on your part. So progressive overload is actually going for more than what you think you can actually do. So that when you actually do it, you depend on God, you trust in whatever, the space between you, what you're not able to do and what you are able to do, that faith requirement, that extra little bit is how you grow. And so that is overloading yourself. That's where the word overload comes from. So anyway, I hope this concept helps you, that if you are doing too little, something's just way too easy and you're doing it over and over again, that's not going to help you grow. So make sure you are pushing yourself, you are not slacking, but you are pushing yourself, and you're also putting a little bit more each time so that you are growing. All right, God bless you. I hope this law of uh, progressive overload is going to help you grow spiritually. And I'll give some examples next time. God bless you. We'll see you next time.